I don't want to call it the content puke because it's just such a stupid name, but honestly, I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're just voiding your bowels, dude. You're just letting it all out, and it's unseemly, it's messy, it's gross, and you should be ashamed of yourself. Yo, it's Shiro, this is Shiro's TV, and welcome to the shit list. This is when I have to bring up a human being who has gone too far and must be stopped. This man today is Ethan Klein of H3H3. Now, I've known of H3 Productions for a very long time. Way back when I learned of its existence in comparison to SourceFed, that was sort of operating in the same space, and I always used to see like clips where it would involve like Trisha Paytas, because she recently came on and all of that shit. But Ethan Klein did not become a problem for me as a person until he left Leftovers. Now, Leftovers is a podcast that he chose to create with another creator known as Hassan Piker, who goes by Hasanabi on Twitch. Now, they seem to think that they had politics that align for the most part, and so I'm sure Ethan thought, hey, this will sort of magnify my clout, magnify his, and that's sort of what a partnership is. Most of the time with these people who live in the business of parasociality, you know, they're interested in bigging up their crowds and sort of spreading their messages. And for someone like Hasanabi, who is a political figure for the most part over everything else,
I have a vision of change that I describe fairly frequently. It's social democratic reforms and exhausting state machinations until you get to a point where slowly but surely you are changing the economy by focusing on businesses, increasing labor unions and worker participation in the workplace.
Ethan Klein was trying to bridge into the political part of things with his audience. And when he did that, he associated himself with Hassan, and he seemed to not like that he was being portrayed as somebody who agreed with Hassan.
I'll live as you can get. I'm almost in the bottom left. What's more live than that? Full on anarchy?
Basically.
And over time, it seemed that he realized that his politics were dividing to a point that he had to start questioning Hassan when he was bringing up certain topics. But my point being is that there were about 80 so episodes before the situation in Palestine came to a head, and no one could ignore it any longer. And people had to take stances, whether it was for Israel or against it. And obviously, Hassan Piker has been such a huge part in stalwart support for Palestinian safety and Palestinian state, for them not to be ethnically cleansed, not to be ethnically displaced. And it seemed that that was Ethan Klein's last straw, and he became bitter, and he decided, I'm going to turn Hassan Piker into one of these other people, like Pearly Things. I'm going to put him on trial because there's a lot of toxicity in the air around him as a person, so I can do another hit piece, my next hit piece, on him. The same way he turned on Trisha Paytas, he decided to turn on Hasanabi. And oddly enough, he even brought this up to him on some occasion. I'm not gonna hunt down that B-roll because that's in the weeds. And as much as I enjoyed that podcast, when they separated, Ethan Klein decided to lose his fucking mind. And as a person who watches Hasanabi a lot because of the political coverage, I identify with his purpose and mostly everything. And that's not even like glaze. It's literally just, he's right about most things.
Because the nature of man is inherently selfish, we need to do something about it and have a democratic government enforce controls, put mechanisms in place to reel that back.
And I agree with that. So that's how I align.
Maybe I'm just who the fuck I am, and you know, you're just gonna have to deal with it.
You know, so I was excited when I got this Leftover podcast. For a long time, you guys were riding in the same direction, but the turn is so atrocious and it's so disgusting, and the content nuke is fucking ridiculous. I don't want to call it the content puke because it's just such a stupid name, but honestly, I mean, that's what it feels like. It feels like you're just voiding your bowels, dude. You're just letting it all out, and it's unseemly, it's messy, dirty, it's gross, and you should be ashamed of yourself for calling him a terrorist, for comparing him to terrorism, and saying he's aligned with terrorist groups, and saying other people are aligned with terrorist groups because they support Palestine. I mean, Noah Samson, are you fucking kidding me? To go up against Sam Cedar and start pissing and shitting because he's putting you in your place?
You go in and you're making this about anti-Semitism by doing this hopscotch about a poll that people had positive feelings that Jewish people do, and then therefore he is anti-Semitic. And honestly, that type of conflation, I think, is so dangerous and so disingenuous.
I think if anything, Sam kind of embarrassed himself. I genuinely do. I hate to say it because I like Sam.
He lowered himself to talk to you man to man.
You know, there's so many people checking you, whether that's Denim's checking you, and, you know, she's got some toxicity in her, but, you know, she's on the straight and narrow. You shit on Frogan, he can't stop talking about Hassan. But the fact that this stems all from Hassan Piker is unmistakable. This obsession he has with him was the first straw for me. I'm tired of hearing him talk about it. Everyone else is. He needs to fucking grow up and move on. I mean, it's the only thing that's gonna save his career, or what's left of it, after this monumental crash out I've never seen. And I will say he might have won the debate surface level.
Hassan never really took control of the conversation. He got better towards the end, but it kind of felt like weak to me. Ethan would just say something ridiculous, disrespect him over and over again, and Hassan would just kind of like, oh, I don't know, man. Like, I'm trying to explain. It's like, bro, why are you putting up with this? Why are you even tolerating it? Like, I'm just watching this guy get like fucking manhandled by Ethan, this belligerent, coked out asshole who is mocking Hassan, like literally mocking Hassan over and over again, talking over him, making fun of him. And Hassan was just taking it. He was just like, yep, okay, I guess I have to keep answering and pretending like I'm not debating a child.
But he made a complete ass of himself in the debate with Hassan.
Hassan started off the debate substantively saying, hey, let's actually discuss Zionism. That's what we're supposedly here to debate, this conflict. Ethan wanted nothing to do with it. Immediately, within 10 minutes, it was explain iDubbbz' sword photo.
Because someone said that Ethan was claiming that I was a Nazi because of the bleach sword that I have that apparently has the reverse swastika, which is not a swastika.
That looked like a swastika in the video. I know it's an anime thing, but maybe we'll be a little more careful. I know that the chances that they did on purpose is close to zero, right? So I'm not accusing them.
Ethan has been on this mission to paint him as an anti-Semitic person, to use every grain of trivial bullshit evidence to that end.
So I don't think Ethan deserves any empathy from us. I thought he was disgusting. I thought he was racist. I thought it was childish.
Oh,
I
he
thought
was.
that he fucking absolutely melted down.
He conceded on almost every point while gaslighting him on everything else. It made no fucking sense.
Clearly, none of these concerns being raised are in good faith. Clearly, Ethan Klein is just whipping up drama because he needs drama to thrive off of as a content creator, specifically with old friends and old co-hosts of his.
I can't stand gaslighting. This motherfucker was in so much denial, he was drowning in the fucking river in Africa. You know what I mean? It was fucking ridiculous. I just don't get it. Like, why die on this hill, man? And I think really it's about supporting Israel, even if you know that it's gonna make you the enemy in everyone's eyes, because it's like a patriotism thing. And I feel like that's where he's at. I think it's got something to do with his wife feeling maybe a similar way. But I'm not gonna go into Ela Klein because I'm not even gonna open up that can of worms. I think this focus should be more on Ethan and his monumental crash out. Like, get a hold of yourself. Get a fucking grip. This is coming from a fan. I really enjoyed H3 once I was privy to it. Once I learned about Leftovers, I started watching the regular H3. It was enjoyable. You know, it was fine when you were wacky, when you're doing stuff, but you're like so mean-spirited that you're like killing yourself. Come on, dude. Like,
That was so goofy.
It was on Twitter, it was on Instagram, meme pages were reposting it.
Someone said he looks like he's hiding the zombie bite from the group.
That's true. I see it.
You're like concerned.
I don't know why my face looks so like this. I think someone must have edited
Yeah,
this.
I'm sure, but it just
No,
fully...
bro, stop.
No,
Because
the saturation
there's like
is
weird
turned
age and saturation stuff.
I don't think it's aged. I think it's just slightly saturized.
No, that ain't normal. Somebody definitely.
No, it's only saturation or...
You know what? I'm gonna say. You guys are like, oh, Ethan needs to disclose that the feed. Let's defend Hassan at every corner and every possible way. His feet are.
just get a fucking grip. And I think getting a grip means letting go of Hasanabi, letting go of Hassan Piker.
This is to help people like you.
because he's here to stay, and if you want a place to stay here, I think letting that go is the first step. But gaslighting all of the people who you told you supported Palestine, but you want to sit on both sides of the fence, it doesn't work that way.
The ahistorical nature of his commentary, how much he lies, or how he spends most of his time, the finite amount of time he has to speak on an issue as a content creator, most of that goes to shitting on people who are speaking out against Israel rather than speaking out against Israel personally.
Israel is riding for the absolute destruction of Palestinian state, Palestinian people, whether that is babies, pregnant women, doctors, nurses, journalists, everyone must go. This is an absolute stain on humanity, this atrocity that Israel is committing in the name of some unjust God that would allow something like this. But that's the problem. Humanity must save itself from this willful ignorance, this pretending that there is no genocide going on because it's too embarrassing to declare it a genocide, because this isn't literally Nazi Germany, that this can't be a genocide. This is the next Holocaust, and America has blood on its hands, Israel has blood on its hands, and that's a fact. And you may sometimes say, hey, I agree, what they're doing is wrong, but then you come and you shit on talking about the Palestinian cause, you bring lawsuits up on Sean the Black.
I don't think I've ever known a black person.
Really?
What? I know it's fucked up. It's fucked up, but I've never been in a situation in my life where I've been in close proximity with black people.
You want to bring up lawsuits on denims? Like,
under different circumstances, he's been able to humiliate people, bully people into submission, deplatform people aggressively. But it's not happening for him this time. And he literally cannot contend with that reality. He just can't figure out why it's not happening.
You were the person who rode for eliminating slap suits upon creators for this sort of thing, and now you are on the other side of the fence. That should give you some sort of leeway to understand that you need to fucking step the fuck off. Like, you're the motherfucker suing everybody for any little thing, and you should learn from the Ryan Kavanaugh situation. It might have been funny in the beginning, but you decided you were gonna keep being litigious, and look where it fucking got you. You keep doing this, whatever you got is gonna dry up. This is not the way, man. You need to move on from this. But I'll tell you what the last straw was when it came to getting rid of Ethan Klein out of my peripheral. At the end of the day, Ethan Klein is on the most monumentous crash out I have ever seen. He can't stop talking about how much he's hated. Everyone gets hate mail, everybody gets death threats when you're that big in this parasocial industry. Don't act like you hold some special place in the ecosystem of parasocial relationships. Like, some of these motherfuckers get run up on. You say skulls got sent to your house. Sure, man, that's terrible. But a lot of crazy shit happens to a lot of creators, and it's not great that it happens, but you can't act like you are the lone person who is being targeted, as though you're some exception to the rule. And I'm saying all this as a person who is disappointed in the man that you've become. I wish you would set a better example for the people who follow you. That's not me anymore. I unsubscribed, obviously. It was after all of the Instagram posts, all this petty nonsense needs to die in a hole. All right, you need to change your ways. You need to become a better person. I'm boycotting Teddy Fresh. This I already bought. I bought the big ass Teddy joggers for way too much. I rode them until the crotch wore out. That's how much I like the clothes. But not another dime for me, because Ethan Klein, Ela Klein don't deserve my money or yours as long as they continue to target people who stand up for what's right. As long as they continue to complain while they're throwing rocks in glass houses. So Ethan Klein, you're on the shit list. It's been Shiro TV. I'll see you next time. Peace.